Most Dallas Cowboys fans believe upgrading the receiver position is a priority as we enter the draft. The Cowboys front office seems to agree. They've invited at least 4 receivers as official 30 visitors, an invitation Dallas takes seriously. On offense, Dallas finished ranked 10th overall in rushing yards last season, but only 22nd in passing yards. Considering the defense finished in the top 10 in most categories, the biggest improvement this team can make is in the offensive ballistics department. But is there room on the roster? Current WR ranks Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Randall Cobb, Tavon Austin, Allen Hurns, Noah Brown, Cedric Wilson. The Dallas Cowboys currently have 7 receivers on their roster with a realistic shot at making the final roster. Typically the franchise keeps only 5 or 6 receivers, so we're looking at 1 or 2 of these fellas not making the cut. A similar situation arose last season. Dallas had more promising receivers than spots available. An exaggerated injury to Wilson allowed Dallas to stash him on their IR, but that's not going to work again. Dallas is going to have to make some tough decisions even if we don't consider a draft pick in the equation. If we add a draft pick, we need to be ready to cut 2, if not 3 of the receivers listed above. We know the top 3 are pretty much a sure thing. Coop, Gallup, and Cobb are going to make the team. Behind them is anyone's guess. Tavon Austin is playing on a cheap 1-year deal. He's Dallas' primary return man and top gadget option on offense. Brown doesn't have that stats that Austin has, but he brings a unique skill set not easily replaced. Brown blocks like a tape but moves like a receiver. At only 23 years old and athletically gifted, Brown has the potential to develop into a real red zone weapon and more. Wilson has mystery at this point in his career. He was a draft day steal when Dallas snagged him in the 6th round, and he was an early standout in off-season activities before ending up on IR last year. Word is, he's added significant mass to his once trim frame and he's one of the smartest receivers on the team. Hurns is coming off a significant injury, and of the remaining options, he costs by far the most against the cap. But Hurns is locker room favorite and a veteran weapon capable of playing all 3 receiver spots, X, C, and slot. The Dallas Cowboys could buy some time on this decision by placing Hurns on the PUP and bringing him in at mid-season. But that only solves one spot and essentially just kicks the can on the difficult decision. Hurns may also take a pay cut to justify his no. 4 WR status, but that only makes sense if Dallas thinks he's a better game day active than Austin, Brown, or Wilson. And again, this doesn't even consider an added receiver from the draft. The Dallas Cowboys need to upgrade their passing attack in 2019. While some of that is on Kellen Moore and increasing the number of passes per game, some of that also falls on the personnel. Adding a receiver may not seem like an immediate need given the size of the receiver core, but it's the best way to improve the passing game. Just be ready because tough decisions await this team, which is a great problem to have. Do you want the Dallas Cowboys to stand pat and skip the receiver position in the draft, or do you want them to bring in some new blood? Either way, you're probably going to need to cut 2 or 3 of these players. Which ones are you cutting?